Everybody, and welcome back to Hyvinkää in Finland. It's round 16 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. This is the MXGP of Finland. My name's Paul Malin. Thanks for joining us once again for our live broadcast. If you're joining us for the second half of the program, MX2 and MXGP Race 2, then a very warm welcome from Hyvinkää, where temperatures are in the mid to high 20s here. The first time we came here was 1965. Torsten Horman victorious that day. But we are about 50 kilometers, 30 miles north of the capital city, Helsinki. Population around 46,000 people around there. But team Kawasaki owner Antti Pyränen resides, or is from here originally. So too, the four-time world champion, the legendary Finn, Heikki Mikkel. He was on the pre-grid at the start of MX2 race, MXGP Race 2, I should say. But in total, we have had 25 winners here. One American winner, Danny Laporte, on a Yamaha in the 250 category back in 1983. But when we were here in 2014, as you can see, Jeffrey Hurling's victorious in MX2, Antonio Cairoli in MXGP. But we are here for MX2 and MXGP once again. For the first time in 8 years, the MX2 riders coming in from their sighting laps. And they will now have a clearer idea of how the track will look ahead of race 2, because since they were out last, the MXGP riders have had their first race. We've had a 1 hour break. The track has been prepped, watered. But let's take a look at the highlights from MX2 Race 1 from a little earlier on in the day. MX2 Race 1, over on the right-hand side, the championship leader, number 93, Jago Geerts, grabbed the Fox Holeshot for the 4th time this year. He arrived into Race 1, 23 points clear of 28, Tom Vialle on the orange KTM, the Red Bull KTM behind him. The two championship leaders came out first and second through the first couple of corners. Rowan van der Moosdijk was third, the 74 of Kai de Wolf, but towards the end of the lap, Geerts made this mistake. Vialle punished him. But the next corner, Vialle didn't get the drive out of the turn. Geerts got better drive at the rear wheel, and the Belgian was through. If it would stay like that, then the gap would go from 23 to 26 points. A little bit further down the order, Jago Geerts' teammate, Thibaut Beneston, got the better of Liam Everts with that move around the outside of the Belgian to move into 7th place. Then, after passing Rowan van der Moosdijk, his teammate, Kai de Wolf messed up, but he managed to stay off the back of the wheel, get through the waves, stay ahead in that 3rd place. Mikkel Haarup then found his way past Rowan van der Moosdijk to move into 4th around about half distance. Simon Langenfelder on the 516, who'd been occupying 6th, dropped back to 9th. Kevin Horgmo on the Kawasaki got the better of Everts here. Brave move to squeeze him to the inside. That put the Norwegian up into 7th place, but Everts would go back past him later on in the race as Haarup fell from 4th to 8th. He picked his front bike up, and the front wheel was jam look, put him down again. That was the delay in getting going again, but Jago Geerts victorious in race 1 by almost 14 seconds over Tom Vialle, and he collected his 12th race win of the season. Vialle was second, de Wolf, van der Moosdijk and Beneston in your top 5. And the gap at the top of the championship, 26 points between first place, Jago Geerts and Tom Vialle. Let's go down to Lisa. She caught up with Andrea Adamo and Kevin Horgmo.
We're almost ready for the penultimate race for the day, MX2 Race 2. But before we get started, let's speak to F&H Kawasaki's Kevin Horgmo. Kevin, I know you had a tough day yesterday in qualifying. I know the whole team did, in fact. Tough first race, although you did make a nice move on Everts for 7th, then you moved yourself up to 6th. Tell us about it.
Yeah, definitely not easy starting on the outside. It's a 180, so really disadvantage in the turn. And yeah, I got a great start actually, but just too wide, so I had to work hard and wasn't feeling the best, but towards the end it got better and better, and yeah, some guys crashed, and I passed Everts there. Got close to passing Benistant on the last turn, but didn't happen.
I mean, like you said, I mean, because of your tough qualifying yesterday, you are on the outside. It's a short 180-degree first turn. Where is the ideal place to start? Which gate pick and why?
I think, like, since they closed the inside gates, for us it's just from the inside and then as far inside as possible, because you want the shortest run to the turn. And yeah, when you are then on the outside, you have so many guys on the inside, so it's hard to make a good start. But hopefully I can do it in the second moto.
Hopefully you can make it happen. Thanks, Kevin. I really want to grab a few words with Andrea Adamo, mainly just because of Sweden. I haven't had a chance to catch up with you since then. I know it was a tough round for you. We saw you crash out of that first race. Holding your leg, I know it's strapped up. Is it okay?
It's not completely okay, so because in Sweden I had a ligament injury, so it's quite painful and I ride with the pain, but I try to do always my best and yeah, try to take more points as possible. For sure, with the time we'll go always better and better, but at the moment it's quite painful. And also yesterday I had quite a big crash in the start in the quali race, so yeah, it's a little bit one difficult period, but for sure will come more easy period.
I wanted to talk about here in Finland. Obviously, it was tough yesterday in qualifying. That first race you did struggle. Is it just down to the injury in the leg, or is it just the feeling out there on the track? I mean, what are your thoughts on the track?
Yeah, for sure the injury in the leg don't make it more easy. That's sure, but also here in the sand, we are a little bit, it's our last point, so we still need to improve. So we say sand plus leg and plus a couple of things. It's yeah, make it quite difficult, but we try to do always the best.
Best of luck, Andrea. Thanks for talking to us. It's time for MX2 Race 2.
Thanks, Lisa. Let's take a look at the top 5 in the championship heading into race 2, shall we? Jago Geerts now on 6.62. Means he's 26 clear of Tom Vialle. Simon Langenfelder almost assured of third place. He's 117 points behind those guys, but 58 clear of Kevin Horgmo. Thibaut Benistant bringing up the top 5. He is 40 behind the Norwegian. And then just behind him, Mikkel Haarup, who is 21 behind Thibaut Benistant. All quiet over there on the banks at the moment, but they are getting ready for race 2. Here we are then. Finland over on the right-hand side in the middle of our 3 in a row. Sweden, Finland, and next week in Saint-Jean-d'Angely, where I'm pleased to announce it's raining right now, and it has been for the last 24 hours, and there's more rain due during the week. Riders taking their positions behind the gate then here for round 16 of the FI Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Finland at Hyvinkää. And Jago Geerts on pole for the race 2, and that's his 7th pole position of the season. Roman Mosdijk and Mikkel Haarup lining up 2nd and 3rd with their best qualifying races of the season so far. Simon Langenfelder, Thibaut Benistant, Kai de Wolf, Liam Everts, and then Tom Guyon. Guyon going to line 8th, again, his best position of the year so far. We got Vialle, Panzer, Rizzi with his best, and so too Kjell Verbruggen and Jakob Teresak, 13th and 14th positions for them. The start straight, if you're just joining us, is a 180-degree left-hand turn, and then when they rejoin the lap, it takes you 90 degrees. Jago Geerts focusing on the race ahead. He has gained 3 points on his rival, Tom Vialle. He will look to do the same again in race 2 if he can. Thibaut Benistant will be hoping for better than 5th. He started 10th in the first lap, got himself back to 5th place. He almost got caught by Kevin Horgmo, though, in the latter stages of the race, but he'll be hoping for a better start. Tom Vialle will be hoping for a good start, a Holeshot, and to try and distance himself from the rest of the pack, especially his main rival, Jago Geerts. 39er Roman Mosdijk ran 3rd for the first 8 laps before dropping down to 5th. He got himself back to 4th at the expense of Mikkel Haarup, who fell on the final lap. Can he make the podium here today? Or will it be his teammate, Kai de Wolf, 2nd of the Husqvarna riders, who was 3rd in race 1. He would love to be on the box once again here as well. Last podium was Belgium, 2nd overall. sprint winners in Sweden 1 week ago. Jago Geerts, Tom Vialle and Simon Langenfelder. That was how the podium was. That's Vialle. 30 minutes plus 2 laps. MX2 race 2. The Fly Racing 15-second board up for the final time this weekend. All eyes to the inside gate, but Tom Vialle, who lined up in 8th place, will be a little bit further over to the right-hand side. Gate drops here. Haarup on the Kawasaki getting a good jump, so too Liam Everts. But once again, it's Jago Geerts for the 5th time and the 2nd time today. Over the Fox Holeshot line, Liam Everts in 2nd place, Van der Moosdijk 3rd on the white, Husqvarna 4th in the white and blue is Kai Karsmakers, Vialle in 5th place, Kai de Wolf in 6th position as they crest the first jump, the Liqui Moly jump. Vialle looking to go around the outside. Gets squeezed though between Kai Karsmakers and I think it was Van der Moosdijk, but he's quickly on the move here, but he gets pushed out wide in that 4th position, but it's Geerts leading the way. Everts 2nd. Van der Moosdijk 3rd. The 28 there on the orange KTM looking to go the long way round, and can he make it stick as he jumps into the wave section? No, he can't, but he might get good drive towards the end of the straight here. But it's Everts in 2nd and Vialle into 3rd, around the outside of Van der Moosdijk on the opening lap then. Wow, front end just getting snatched there. But look at the intensity, the urgency from Tom Vialle as he goes after the 72 of Liam Everts, who takes a look over the shoulder on the Diga Procross KTM. Haarup down in 20th position. So the rider who fell from 4th on the final lap with a lot of work to do, the rider from Denmark. Over the line then, no lap times this time around. We won't get that till they hit the finish line. But this is where we have a circuit change look. The start straight was 180 left, but we've rejoined here. That's how the start straight used to be when we were here in 2014. So this was the old turn 2. Oh, and Geerts is off the bike. Wow. And he's underneath, he can't get out. Drama for the championship leader, who is pinned underneath that Monster Energy Yamaha. Wow. The marshal can help him get the bike off, but they can do no more than that. But he's going to be right at the back, and all of a sudden, a 26-point gap is going to be reduced to absolutely near nothing as Geerts rejoins the race. What happened here? Over the berm, possibly. Yes. But then folded the front and over the bars. Wow. You do all the hard work, you take the pressure off, and then you put it right back on. The only positive thing here is he's got 27 minutes plus 2 laps in which to get himself further up the track. He was the fastest rider in race 1. He just needs to keep a cool, calm head. This one will be all about damage limitation. Meanwhile, Everts leads. Tom Vialle 2nd. He would have seen Geerts upside down, and that will be music to his ears. He will get on and try and push on and get as far past Liam Everts as possible, but Everts not going to take it lying down, but already you can see he's under attack from the 28, and the Vialle goes through at the end of this first official lap. And he holds the inside line as well. There's Geerts in the background there. That's how much time he has to make up. Van der Moosdijk tries to pull the clutch and do the panic rev technique to try and spook Liam Everts into turn 1. Everts holds his ground though and holds that 2nd position. I can only imagine Geerts just trying to push too hard on the first lap. Front end got away from him as Van der Moosdijk goes around the outside of Everts, takes over 2nd position. Here is Jago Geerts, and he is 24.5 seconds off the lead. Watch this, a lap ago. Through the turn, front end just gets high there and folds. This pins him underneath the bike. Big moment in the race and possibly the championship. keep an eye on that. So Geerts in 19th place, 24.5 seconds off the lead after the opening lap then. Vialle leads, Everts second, Van der Moostijk there in the dark colours. In fact, he's gone through. So Van der Moostijk now up into second position. He's found his way past Everts. And that was round by the pit lane area, wasn't it, a moment ago? But Vialle now in control in the early stages of race 2. Jago Geerts setting the fastest sector 1. It's irrelevant at the moment, but he is quicker than everybody else on the racetrack. 26.6, sector 2. But Kai de Wolf applying the pressure to the number 72 of Liam Everts, who's looking to hold on to that third place at the moment on the Diga Procross KTM, sandwiched between the two, the Stan Husqvarna's KTM down there doing the maths and looking to see what the situation possibly could be, having a bit of a meeting down there in pit lane. 2 laps in a row. Everts about to get caught in the same part of the racetrack. Oh, hello, Vialle. Vialle's been off. Vialle got offline massively over the liquid moly jump. We have a new leader, and it's Rowan van der Moostijk. Geerts, meanwhile, is up to 15, setting the fastest lap of the race. He's only 21 seconds off the lead as well. Right, watch Vialle. Oh, the wrong side of the jump, has to go around the signs here, rejoin as safely as possible. That's what he did, but he's lost the lead. And Everts loses third place as de Wolf goes through. So another dramatic MX2 race, keeping an eye on the rider in 15th place. Jago Geerts still making positive ground and positive steps towards the front end of the field. But Tom Vialle put himself under pressure. Again, possibly just trying to get away early. Anyway, let's go down to the grid. Lisa is there with Jeremy Fontaine from Monster Energy Yamaha.
Jeremy, drama in the opening laps for not only Geerts but also Vialle we just saw. But look, we've got time. Does Jago have what it takes to really dig deep and make that time back?
Yeah, you know, Jago was very fast all the weekend. Now we take again the whole shot, then he makes small mistake after the corner, he go out in the track. But that's good thing, he stay on the track, make some lap, and then I think he come back to take maximum as possible the point for the World Championship.
Best of luck to the team. Thanks, Jeremy.
Jago Geerts hits the line. He's now up in the 13th place. He has Joel Rizzi just ahead of him, the 912 on the Riley Racing Yamaha. Geerts fell from the lead a couple of laps ago in this turn on the exit. He nips up the inside this time, though, and takes a position away from Rizzi. Geerts now up in the 12th place. Just heard from Jeremy Fontaine there from the Monster Energy Yamaha squad, and agreeing that he does have time on his side. And you can already see as he closes in on Albin Gerhardsson coming up the hill here. This will put him up into 11th if he can find his way past the number 52. He'll come the long way round at the bottom here. He'll outbrake, and he does. Moves up into 11th place. This could be the defining moment of his World Championship. How he races MX2. How far up the order he gets. Back into the wave section. Van der Moostijk, though, continues to lead. He's 2 seconds clear of Vialle. De Wolf third. They're heading in the opposite direction over the finish line now as we speak. Or a couple of corners away from it. He can only go for broke, but not push the envelope to the point where he makes another mistake. Everts up to third, De Wolf fourth, so those two have been changing places. But 20 minutes. And Kai de Wolf lost 3 seconds in sector 4, so he made a mistake. Everts goes through. Geerts now up into 11th place. He's got Haarup about 2 seconds. In fact, there he is on the face of the jump in the number 11 on the green Kawasaki. The Big Van World MTX Kawasaki, in fact. But the podium as it stands right now, look. Vialle 44, Van der Moosdijk 43, De Wolf 38, Geerts 35, but he is definitely much in the ascendancy. 3 passes will do it, and that shouldn't be a problem, but he was eyeing up a 1-1 maximum points and a 29-point advantage heading to France in a week's time. Oh, back end misbehaving there. We need to see the response from Tom Vialle as well. A 1:52 for his fastest lap of the race, but he's 3 seconds behind Van der Moosdijk, and I wonder if his off-track excursion has just dipped the confidence a little bit for the Frenchman. Go from leading the race, watching your main rival fall, knowing you can capitalise on that. That is the pressure these guys are under. Jan Panzer just ahead. But not for much longer. Or is it? Yeah, he manages to hold his line there. Oh, hits up the inside. So all of a sudden moves into 10th place. Mikkel Haarup has already cleared the Slovenian. And getting his head down. He knows he's got Geerts behind him, pushing. There's Tom Vialle. Fastest lap of the race so far, 1:49.9 for Geerts. That was on lap 2. But not exactly clean out of there for Tom Vialle, and just running roughshod. The Red Bull KTM rider. 4 seconds behind Van der Moosdijk now. Van der Moosdijk, the other side of the jump and on the step up around about now, just ahead of Vialle. Third, Liam Everts. What a fantastic ride for him. Diga Procross KTM rider. Geerts up to 10th, Haarup 9th. And Geerts going after the Dane. This is an impressive ride as well from Haarup. He was 20th on the opening lap. He is now in that 9th place. And Thibaut Beniston just around the corner in 8th place. Remember, the gap was 24 seconds, which is the gap now actually between the leader, Roman van der Moosdijk, and Geerts. When he picked himself up, crossed the line at the end of that first lap after that fall. Got it down to 21, but now he's in a bit of traffic. You can expect with Van der Moosdijk, with clear track, to have that sorted out. But, as we said, 17.5 minutes plus 2 to go. Tom Guillaume, number 27. And this is Roman van der Moosdijk. This is why he's leading then. Got to the outside of Everts. This was just outside pit lane. That going from 3rd to 2nd. Vialle was your leader at that point. And then Vialle made this mistake. Got offline, grabbed a handful of whiskey. Couldn't rejoin there. Had to go the long way round. And Van der Moosdijk snuck on through to take over the lead. He now has a 5.5 second advantage over Vialle. Everts here, 72, still in 3rd position. And De Wolf, 4th. Haarup and Geerts both finding their way past Beniston as well. They are now 8th and 9th, so Thibaut Beniston struggling in this second race. So there's still plenty of time left to get further up the leaderboard, but those gaps are getting bigger and bigger. Kai de Wolf looking to go around the outside here. Trying something different perhaps to find his way past Everts. Liam Everts just looking nice and smooth. Kai de Wolf more flamboyant, moving a lot more on the motorcycle. End of the straight, just watch how they've just picked the front wheel up over those. They've obviously fixed that part of the track, but they were wheeling 3 or 4 bumps into that turn in race 1. Tom Vialle's not getting away from these guys, is he? In that second position. 53.8 last time for Vialle, 52.7, his fastest lap of the race. Everts, 52.3. So a good lap last time around. What will it be this time? And what will... Oh, it's Kai de Wolf just hanging off the back a little bit too much there. What will the gap be this time between Vialle and Everts? Meanwhile, back with your championship leader, Jago Geerts, carves his way down the inside of Haarup, but to no avail. He'll be hoping to get good drive towards the end of the straight. He gets that, but he's going to get squeezed in this next turn. Going to have to wait a little longer. Got to be careful not to be too impatient as well. Sees Tom Guyon go to the inside, but still a mountain to climb for Geerts. Geerts down the inside of Haarup, but not able to find a way through. Still, the Dane keeps the Belgian there in ninth place. Haarup tries to rush in around the outside, almost left the door open for attack. Good ride this for Tom Guyon. But he goes inside. Haarup drops it across the front of him, takes over 7th place. Geerts alongside the KTM rider, top of the hill, but he's going to get squeezed to the inside here as well as the Kawasaki of Haarup already starting to pull clear. We'll do the maths later, but you already saw the gap after Haarup where Horgmo and Langenfelder are. Is that a big ask for the 93 to even close those guys down if he finds his way past these two? Just absolutely in full attack mode. Gets around the outside. Jumps to the outside here. Rails the turn, but still no way through. Depends on the drive through the waves, and he's alongside Guyon, and he's through. So Geerts now up into 8th place. Thibaut Beneston behind there in 9th, in 10th place. Watch this. Just gets better drive, jumps in, and then stays over on the right-hand side. And he's already in a commanding position towards the end of that wave section. Doubles his way in, still had work to do there, but he was always on the right line to make that pass happen. Just under 13 minutes plus 2 laps remaining. MX2 race 2 here, the MXGP of Finland. Van der Moosdijk continues to lead. Kai de Wolf, though, has now found his way into 3rd, putting Everts into 4th. Here's how he did it. Just ran too wide. De Wolf took full advantage. He still had work to do here, though, having to go the long way round, but the Dutchman just about made it stick. Jumped long as well. So De Wolf now up into 3rd place. Thibaut Beneston making his way onto the rear wheel of 27, Tom Guyon. As Geerts flows it in once more on Haarup. These guys are 6.5 seconds down on Horgmo, the next rider in their line of sight. If they had visuals. Favours that outside line, doesn't he, Geerts? Gives himself good drive into the waves. He's not close enough to make the move here. He closes down, but no way through. Haarup 7, Big Van World, MTX Kawasaki. The number 11 on that green machine. Championship leader with a red plate! Geerts thought there was an opportunity, picks himself up, and they're saying, get up, get up. He's only just found his way past Guyon and Beneston and one or two others. He picks himself up. Wow. Another crazy moment in this race. Haarup picks himself up, wondering what on earth just hit him. Jago Geerts. Pants look like they're ripped on the left side of his butt cheek. How much damage has he done? Well, he's messing around with the clutch lever. He can't afford any more mistakes, surely. Wow. Geerts all of a sudden down to 9th place. Watch this here. Oh, it was a mistake there from Haarup. He went in too deep, came back across. And then the two just collided. Racing incident, that will be deemed as. Bizarrely, he only lost 1 position because obviously he hadn't gone past Haarup at that point. Guillaume and Beneston go back through. Here it is again. Look, the problem there for Haarup, he knew as well. Talk about hitting the eject button. Tense moments down there in pit lane. So Geerts going after his teammate, Thibaut Beneston. He's passed him once, got to do it again. So Van der Moostijk, who is over the line 10 laps complete. Vialle about to cross the line any moment now. The gap between him and Van der Moostijk, 5.5 seconds. And Vialle, half a second quicker than the Dutchman. Is there going to be a sting in the tail here in the late stages of the race as well? Or the last 10 minutes or so? Because if Vialle continues that, he will break that gap down and he'll find himself on the rear wheel of Van der Moostijk. Here is Vialle. And if he takes over the lead, that'll be 25 points and another 3-point gain over Jago Geerts. Vialle knows he's got to go. That's the gap between first and second. Kyle Wolf lurking in the background. He was quicker than both the two guys he's chasing down. He's in the 53s. The other two riders in the 54s. Oh, Beneston just a little bit offline there. And Geerts down the inside. He will have the inside line here as well. And he takes 8th position away from his teammate. Another position gain then for the number 93. Behind them, Beneston there in 9th place. Panzer up to 10th, Haarup 11th. Rubini on the ship to cycle Honda SR Moto Blues machine. He is in 12th place. Albin Gerhardsen finds himself 13th ahead of Adamo, Rizzi, Teresak and Bjornsson. The Bruggen, Stauffer and Cars Makers. Mikkel Haarup just losing time at 2:02.5 last time around. Tom Vialle wants to push on to run Van der Moostijk, but 74 behind him. Kyle Wolf may make it difficult for the Red Bull KTM rider. Oh, bobble there as well for the 28, getting out of that turn. Didn't get good clean drive. The gap 6.2 seconds, and De Wolf only 1.3 behind the Frenchman. So it's going to be an interesting 7.25 minutes plus 2 laps. Vialle in second at the moment. De Wolf is a little bit offline there. He's put all the hard work in, the Nastan Husqvarna factory rider. But it's his teammate who leads the way, Rowan van der Moostijk. That'll be second overall. But if Kyle de Wolf finds his way past Tom Vialle, takes those 2 positions away, 2 places, or points, I should say, it'll be Moostijk on the top step of the podium. So it's going to be an interesting 6.5 minutes plus 2. And a Moostijk, country mile clear, 6 seconds now. Meanwhile, Geerts has gained another position. He's found his way past Tom Guillaume. Gets alongside the Frenchman. Into the old turn 2. Holds a nice tight line. If only he'd done that line on the opening lap, he'd still be upright and possibly leading the race. But he's now up to 7th place. Kyle de Wolf just hanging off the back of that Husqvarna as he continues to go in pursuit of Vialle. Next rider up the road for Geerts, looking on our timing screen, Kevin Hoogmo, with about 15 seconds to make up. Looks like it's near on impossible, because lap times 1:56 and 1:55 respectively, Hoogmo and Geerts. In fact, there's Hoogmo heading towards the Liqui Moly jump on the left, and the Yamaha man coming uphill in the opposite direction. Tom Vialle will stand on the top step of the podium, though, if he can stay where he is. It's going to be a long 5 minutes in this second MX2 race. Roman Mosák is leading the way, but Kai de Wolf gets good drive, tries to make the move on Vialle at the top of the hill, can't quite make it happen. Again, gets the door shut in his face by Vialle, as Kai de Wolf continues to chase second position. Oh, there you go. Pick up the front end, Kai. Not an easy wave section. The ruts you can't see on the face of those waves. Always changing, getting deeper. Good response, though, from the 28. Not sure we can handle any more drama in this MX2 race. Gap will be down to 18 points as it stands right now, with Vialle there in second and Geerts in 7th place. Over the line, 13 laps complete. Still nothing in it between Vialle and de Wolf as they fight over second position. There's our first sighting of Roman Mosák. That gap coming down ever so slightly. 5.2 now between your race leader and Mosák and Vialle. Are we going to see a Nastan 1-2 by the time the checkered flag falls? Well, Vialle is going to have to dig very deep to prevent that from happening. Again, Kai de Wolf favours the right-hand side. So 3 minutes plus 2 to go. Vialle still hanging on to second place. Oh, Van der Mosták is getting closer. Kai de Wolf still just can't find a way through at the moment. Two and a half minutes plus 2 laps to go. MX2 race 2. Through the wave section, Tom Vialle second. The guy pursuing him is Kai de Wolf, coming back the opposite direction. Just now in the corner behind us is your race leader, Roman van der Mosták. That gap is about 5.2 seconds. Championship leader, Jago Geerts, is up into 7th position. He's 13 seconds down on the nearest rider to him, Kevin Hoogmo, in 6th on the F&H Kawasaki. Haven't seen too much of him in this race. But the championship lead that started at 23 before race 1 went out to 26 before race 2 is now down to 18 points. Geerts will still leave here with the championship leader's red plate. But it's been an expensive weekend for him after that mistake. Through the bottom left-hander that we can see on screen that these guys are coming up to now on the opening lap, start of lap 2. .7 the gap, so a good response by Roman van der Mosták. Van der Mosták unlucky with injury earlier this year. Did the first 2 rounds, got injured in the qualifying race in Argentina. Didn't see him back, that was round 3. Didn't see him back until round 14 in Belgium, where he went 6-5 and 5th overall. Got a race win in 2020. Still nothing in it between these two. Just trying to work out whether Van der Moosdijk, is he far enough ahead? Is it going to be 3 laps or 2 laps? Because that could also be a determining factor in the outcome of this race. 28 seconds to go. I think it's going to be 3 to go from here. Back marker trying to stay out of the way there. Oh. Kajda Wolf couldn't get over the tabletop. And Bjornsson just being a pain there. Van der Moosdijk, 2 laps to go. Just time running out as he hit the line. He is now 3.9 seconds clear. So these two are pushing on. Vialle and De Wolf. Kjell Verbruggen getting lapped there. He's in 17th position, the 2:42. De Wolf has to go big. Cost himself with a little bit of hang time. He is absolutely frustrated at not being able to find his way past Vialle. Keep an eye on the sector times. 43 for sector 1, Van der Moosdijk. Oh, Van der Moosdijk's gone. Van der Moosdijk has gone. I was just looking at the sectors thinking he's lost 10 or 11 seconds. So we have a new leader with 2 to go, and it's Vialle. Wow. And here's what happened. Rowan van der Moosdijk, turn 2, folds the front end, picks himself up. Yeah, got it right there, look. And then Vialle goes through, Kajda Wolf goes through. So Kajda Wolf has the opportunity to win a race, so too, more importantly, does Vialle. Gap 18 points at the moment. It'll be 15 if De Wolf can go through. Sorry, not 15. It'll be 21 if De Wolf can go through. Oh, he is pushing. We are entering the final lap in 2 corners' time. And De Wolf goes a long way round. He's not going to go through there, though. Vialle too cute for that. Into the final lap. Nothing in it between them, less than a second. Tom Vialle leads for the first time this race. De Wolf doing all he can. As it stands right now, the gap is down from 18 points to 15 points at the top of the championship table. And that is a gift for Vialle. It's 18 at the moment, but if De Wolf can go through and there's a back marker on the horizon, De Wolf needs to stay upright. Just about manages to do so. And again, he's going to have to go the long way around the back marker here. He has put everything into this, so has Vialle. Vialle looking at the top step of the podium. De Wolf, the second step. Here's Geerts. He is still there in 17th. 15 seconds down on Kevin Hoogmo. Case of what might have been for the number 93 championship leader, but through the waves for the final time. Vialle has gone defensive. And De Wolf tries to go around the outside. Not going to go through there. He might try again here, though. And De Wolf runs it down the inside of Vialle. Nothing in it. Can't quite get the drive either. Oh, and he overjumps Vialle. And De Wolf may have an opportunity. Time running out, though. 2 corners to go. Again, he tries that outside line. But just a line too wide, too far. Vialle will cross the line. He wins a dramatic race, too. He wins the overall. He leaves here 15 points behind in the championship chase. Rowan van der Moosdijk led almost the entire race. He made a mistake with 2 laps to go. It is game on in the championship. This is how close it was. Vialle would have taken a little look across here, dumped the clutch, saying, no way, Jose. Didn't clean him up. Got lent on there as well, did De Wolf. Vialle defending with all his might. Vialle crossing the line, and Jago Geerts will be licking his wounds. But what a dramatic race. Vialle wins it from De Wolf, and Van der Moosdijk third. Here is Lisa with our overall winner, Tom Vialle.
Tom Vialle, I just could not keep up in that second race. You were right where you needed to be to make up valuable championship points.
It was a tough race. So hot here in Finland, and I had a good start. I made a mistake. I went out of the track, and I just ride nice. Van der Moosdijk had a small crash on the left, so on the last lap it helped me a lot. But yeah, thanks a lot to the team. All the people work because we make the bike from yesterday and today a big improvement. So thanks to them for this win. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Tom Vialle takes his 14th race win of the season, his 44th podium, 22nd career victory. But crucially, he reduces the gap from 23 at the start of the race and a potential 26 down to just 15 points with 2 rounds to go. Next stop, France, Saint-Jean-d'Angely in 1 week's time. He will be absolutely buzzing at the prospect of going there for the penultimate round. Official confirmation then, MX2 race 2. Tom Vialle wins it just by the skin of his teeth over Kai de Wolf. Van der Moosdijk third, thrown away the opportunity of a win. Liam Everts fourth, Simon Langenfelder fifth, and Kevin Horgmo, Jago Geerts, Thibaut Beneston, and Tom Guillaume. Then we had Jan Panzer, Mikkel Haarup, Stefan Rabini, Albin Gerhardsen, Andrea Adamo, Joel Rizzi, Jakob Teresack, Kjell Verbruggen, and Leopold Ambjornsen with Marcel Stauffer and Kai Karsmakers. Tom Vialle wins a dramatic Grand Prix here in Finland. A second and a first. Kai de Wolf second overall. Geerts on the podium, third overall, dramatically for him. But he will be absolutely spitting feathers. Van der Moosdijk and Liam Everts round out the top 5. And the championship now down to just 15 points between Jago Geerts and Tom Vialle as we head into the penultimate round in France. Jago Geerts then, his lead slashed from 23 to 15 after the Grand Prix here today at Hervinka in Finland. Tom Vialle digging deep to make that happen as well. It has to be said. He hung on, he soaked up the pressure from Kai de Wolf. Yamaha lead the way in the Manufacturers' Championship, 17 over KTM. That one's going right the way down to the wire as well. No change apart from Husqvarna out to 4th. Honda down to 5th, and then Suzuki, look. Do the Fox Holeshot, shall we? Jago Geerts for the 5th time this season, but I bet he would rather be somewhere else right now. On the top step of the podium. And with a bigger lead. But he made that mistake on the opening lap. And it cost him as well. Massive amount of points. But what a finale we had here for MX2. Kai de Wolf running off with a podium. 2 now in the last 3 rounds for the Dutchman. With a 3rd and a 2nd here. Championship leader managing to salvage a podium with a 1st and a 7th. But that is only half the story. get ready for the podium, shall we? Right, MXGP of Finland, the MX2 category, round 16 of 18 here at Haarup in Finland. Third overall, the Monster Energy Yamaha of Jago Geerts, championship leader with a first and a seventh. He was leading race 2 before he fell. He was 25 seconds or more underneath the bike before he was able to get going again. But he did salvage something. Had it not been for that extra crash with Mikkel Haarup, who knows whether he could have found his way past or caught Kevin Horgmo even. Kaido Wolf second overall. The Stan Husqvarna Factory Racing. Solid result for him, third and second. But Tom Vialle, a second and a first. There is still light at the end of the tunnel for the Frenchman. That has been the story of this MX2 season so far, hasn't it? I mean, these two have changed the red plate 7 times between them. And it just yo-yos back and forth. Just when you think you can breathe, guess what? A mistake from one or the other brings everything back together. And you cannot take your eyes off of it. Third overall for Jago Geerts, Erkki Heikkinen, the SML president, handing the Yamaha man his third place trophy. Second overall, Kaido Wolf takes his second place trophy from Mika Kulmala, Lahti Events board member. Third and a second for the Stan Husqvarna rider today. Hakan Lehmann, the FIM board member, handing the winner's trophy to the Red Bull KTM of Tom Vialle.
And the winning team manager also to the prize giving ceremony. Clap your hands for
Joel Smets, team manager, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. Will take the winner's trophy for the team. Mira Nieminen, Lahti Events vice chairman, handing Joel Smets another winner's trophy for Red Bull KTM. Championship leader's red plate will be delivered to Jago Geerts swiftly by Mr. Antonio Elia Portela, the FIM CMS director. Barely raise a smile, look. In fact, he can't. That's how disappointed he is.
And now it's the time for national anthem.
National anthem time for Tom Vialle and France.
Of France.
Your top 3 here this weekend, round 16 of 18, the MXGP of Finland in the MX2 category. The MXGP of Finland at Haarup. Tom Vialle, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing with a second and a first. Kaido Wolf, the Stan Husqvarna Factory Racing with a third and a second. Jago Geerts 1-7 for Monster Energy Yamaha. We'll talk to the top 3 after we've seen these highlights from race 2. Look at the pants hanging off him there. MX2 race 2 here in Haarup was a dramatic one. Jago Geerts bagged his second Fox Holeshot of the day. Held a nice tight line. Liam Everts was to the outside of him. Tom Vialle almost up the side of the track there in about 5th place. It was Tom Guyon in 4th position on the number 27. As Roman Mosdijk was there in 3rd. Geerts led from Everts and Vialle. Roman Mosdijk, Guyon, Beneston and De Wolf. But then watch this here. Started lap 2. Pushing too hard over the bars, buried underneath the bike, and was down for almost 30 seconds. That handed the lead to Liam Everts. but not for long. Tom Vialle charges his way through to take over the lead. And then Roman de Moosdijk also went past the Belgian into second. And then Tom Vialle had this moment. He lost the lead when he went off track, handed the advantage to Roman de Moosdijk, who then started to pull clear. He had about 6 seconds with about 2 laps to go. Kai de Wolf got the better of Liam Everts. That put him into 3rd place as Geerts continued to push on. He found his way past Tom Guillon here, number 27. That got him into 7th. He then went after Mikkel Haarup. Hadn't quite passed him. Haarup made a mistake in the turn. The two came together. And that was another moment for Jago Geerts. He got the better of his teammate as he started to push through again. That was for 8th. He got his way back past Guillon again for 7th. Then your race leader fell with 2 to go. Roman de Moosdijk picked himself up in 3rd, but not before Vialle and de Wolf went through to take over the lead in 2nd place. And it was a proper dogfight between these two, those final 2 laps. This is how close it was on the final lap with a few corners to go. But it was Vialle who went on to win from de Wolf, Van der Moosdijk, Everts and Langenfelder.
Tom Vialle, 2 totally different races. I know race 1, you were kind of all out of answers, settled for 2nd. Race 2, right where you needed to be to pick up from Vialle, Geerts' mistake. But it was a tough one for both you and Geerts, wasn't it? And it's still so close.
Track was so hard. I had a tough Saturday, P9 on the gate. I had 2 great starts. First moto, I finished 2nd behind Jago. I had a great sensation on the track. And 2nd moto, I could win. Jago crashed, I think, 1st lap or something. And it was a tough one. Physically, it was so hard here. And I want to thank a lot the team for the hard work. We changed a lot the bike from yesterday and today was working amazing. So thanks a lot to the whole team. And see you in France next weekend. It's going to be a nice one. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. 2nd overall today, we have Kai de Wolf. Kai, 4th podium for you, 2 solid races. I know in that 2nd race you were pushing to pass Vialle. I guess just ran out of time at the end.
Yeah, I ran out of time a little bit in the end. It was a difficult 2nd moto. I made a small mistake which got Vialle actually back past me. And then I had to go back on him and try to give it all, but I just missed out. But yeah, I'm really happy with my riding this weekend. I'm really looking forward now. Yeah, tomorrow morning we have a race again in Belgium, so hope to see a lot of Dutch fans there. And then next weekend France. So I can't thank the team enough for this. They're working so hard for us, and yeah, I really appreciate it.
Thank you. 3rd overall today we have Jago Geerts. Jago, I don't know what to say. Really, just damage limitation. I know in that 2nd race you really dug deep. You put in a champion performance, but it was tough, wasn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I had a perfect weekend until the 2nd moto. I crashed, I think, 1st or 2nd lap, and then was coming back quite fast, but then came together with Mikkel after like 15 minutes, and then it was over. So yeah, tough 2nd moto, but happy with my riding and my performance. So looking forward to next week in France, one of the tracks that I really like, and hope to get some points back there.
Thanks, Jago.
Yeah, Jago Geerts got his 1st ever race win at Saint-Jean-d'Angely, but he'll be looking forward to going there just to try and open that points gap up. But he'll also be on the 1st flight out tonight or tomorrow morning. He too is racing at Kai Oval in Belgium, 5 minutes from where he lives, and that's the race that Kai de Wolf was just referring to. Quite a few riders making the journey back to Belgium for that bank holiday weekend race. Kai de Wolf 2nd overall this weekend here at the Nissan Husqvarna rider, and he was just annoyed that he made a little mistake, but he's 2nd overall and he can't grumble at that. But he's also looking forward to France. But Tom Vialle more so, because he'll go there having clawed back more than a handful of points on the championship leader. It was 23 at the start of the weekend, it's 15 now. Tom Vialle, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, your winner here in the MXGP of Finland in the MX2 category at Erpinka. Congratulations, Tom, and everybody at Red Bull KTM. We will be back in about 1.5 minutes' time, so join us for the final race of the afternoon, MXGP Race 2. We'll see you then.
Why we chasing, why the bottom, why the big, why we got this.
No niin, siitä. Savaste ylävalteella siellä jo. MXGP-kuljettajat ovat valmiina ottamaan lämmittelyyn rataa ja lähdetään tähän Savasteen kanssa katsomaan minkälaista taktiikkaa he tekevät. Tiukillaan on sitten vielä takahannetta, niin se oli sitten kolmossa siellä, ottanut vähän iskuja